Hi, it's Mike, and today we're going to be talking about respondent conditioning. You may have also heard this called as classical conditioning and Pavlonian conditioning. Where does that come from? It all started with Ivan Pavlov. If you remember the classic study where he was working with dogs, he was working on their salvation. He, through this conditioning process, was able to get a dog to simply salvate from hearing a click on a metronome. I wrote a bell because it's easier to draw a bell, and a lot of times people think about it as with a bell. But just think of that tick, some kind of sound. Boom, sound happens, dog is salivating. What happened? Well, what happened is Ivan Pavlov did a total classic experiment, brand new. Like, whoa, what did we do? And what did he do? He did respondent conditioning. Um, Three terms, those all mean the same thing. Why do we use respondent? Well, because the behaviors under question, what we're measuring, the salvation, they respond to some stimulus, some environmental effect they respond to. A stimulus is presented in that learner's environment. A response happens, a respondent behavior. So these are going to be things like reflexes too. If you think about it, if you think of respondent behaviors, those are going to be reflexes. It's a reflex to salvate. You don't really think about a lot of reflexes. You startled, things of that sort. But it is a reflex. You smell food. You start, your digestive system starts to work for you. It's not controlled. We don't have the ability to say, all right, start salivating. We can try to bring up spit, try to do things like this, but we can't really get our GI tract to start going. So when we talk about other major conditioning in our field, operant conditioning, when we talk about those behaviors are behaviors that operate on the environment. So I'm not going to get into operant conditioning, but just wanted to point out respondent behaviors respond to the environment, operant behaviors operate on the environment. So moving forward with this, anytime I have to use the word unconditioned, I'm just going to draw a U. So this is my cheat sheet here for you. I'm going to erase this because I'm not writing unconditioned every time. It's just not going to happen. So I'm going to use U for unconditioned, C for conditioned, N for neutral, S for stimulus, and R for response. And if you see these mixed together, you see U, N, unconditioned, neutral. That's not a thing, but if you see UN, that's what that means. So let's get right into it.